on?
Hello, hello.
Ah, there we go.
Good to be here.
Well, I think most of them understand English, so if we need to translate, we will, but we should do fine. It's so great to be with a childhood legend. You're like an inspiration, actor, martial artist, musician even. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try and get a few questions in. I think the audience will have a lot of questions as well, so I'm going to tell them, if you have questions, just make sure you raise your hand. You can start at any moment, and we'll get a microphone your way. So what I want to ask you is, you've done a lot of work in the world of film, music, martial arts, and when you first started, I think it was Above the Law, right? That was your first production. But you weren't just an actor in that film, you were also involved in production, am I right? How is that, starting in film, but at the same time starting with all the behind-the-scenes stuff? What was your experience doing all of that?
Well, I came back to America in 1985, and I had an experience with Terry Semmel, who was the head of Warner Brothers, and they saw my martial arts and said, hey, we'll make you, you know, a big star in the martial arts movies using bigger budget and more story. And well, he offered me a few scripts, I didn't like them, and then I said I can write something. I came to America as a writer. So he said, okay, there's a writer's strike coming up, writer's strike.
Yeah.
So I want to give you two writers to help you. One was Stephen Pressfield and the other guy was Ronnie Chaussette. They were the original writers to Total Recall, the original Total Recall.
Yeah.
We wrote that together based on the story that I had. It was the story that I came up with. And I think that my insight into how to execute that story through ideas that I gave production made Warner Brothers and the higher up crew on Above the Law say, man, Steven's producing this movie, we got to give him credit.
Please don't direct the microphone at us, never do that. Thanks, that's okay.
What about the rumors of Above the Law 2?
Well, I mean, I would love to make Above the Law 2. Would love to. It's just a question of financing. If there's any billionaires in Germany that will finance us, we would love to make it. Love to make that movie.
So, are there any, like there are a lot of rumors, Under Siege 3, there's a rumor of, is there anything that in production at the moment that we can expect from you coming up in the next few years?
I mean, I just finished a movie called Attrition. Under Siege 3 is something I would love to make once again, just would need the money.
And you want to hear more about the movie, about your new film? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the best movie I've done in 20 years. It's an amazing movie. It's a movie about life. It's full of true elements. I started Kung Fu before I started Aikido, so it's got a lot of great Kung Fu, a lot of great story, great characters, great acting, and some big stars from the Chinese Kung Fu world. And I'm very proud of the movie. Thank you.
Do we have these big productions again like we used to have?
I think in general, martial arts movies, people think that the more fighting they have, the safer they'll be in terms of success. But in reality, people are sick of that. If you want to make a great martial arts movie, the first thing you have to have is a great story. And the story has to be about something that people care about. And once you make a great story with great characters, and then the martial arts come as a result of the story, organically growing up from there, then you have the chance to make a very popular great martial arts movie, and that doesn't happen very often.
How do you deal with that when being a stunt coordinator on a film? How much do you actually let actors do, and when do you hire stunt people?
I try to always make stunt people do the work that requires stunts, but I myself am still doing all of my own fights and some stunts myself. But in general, it's always better to let the stuntmen do the stunts.
That's probably the safest answer as well for Hollywood in this case.
I wonder, how did you come to martial arts? What did you make start martial arts?
I was 5 years old. I was at a football halftime in Detroit, Michigan. And my father was a football coach. And during the halftime, there was an old master doing the martial arts demonstration. When I saw that, I told my father, I said, "Father, this is what I was born to do." So I started chasing it down after that.
Any chance to see you in the next experiments?
I'm sorry to say no.
Would you be interested in it though? To be in the experiments?
I'm from the Netherlands. Really nice to meet you in person. I'm just curious. You brought out one album, Motor Priest. Are you still working on more music albums?
You know, I have another album that's almost finished and it's been sitting there for years now. And on that album I've got Abe Laboriel, David Lindley, Vinnie Caliuta, Marty Greb. I mean, it's all the monsters. It's a great album. I just got to get in and do some vocals and a couple of guitar overdubs and it's finished. I just got to get the time to do it.
When you finish the album, would you like to go tour again and see other countries? And what are the chances that that might actually happen?
Well, when I finish the album, I'll have to tour whether I want to or not.
Do you like traveling though?
It's rough. It's rough. I like playing, but I hate the travel.
I can imagine. So, yeah, we've got a question right there.
I wonder, how was your experience as a director? You directed Michael Caine, so did you like this experience, and is there anything coming up as a director?
I enjoyed directing On Deadly Ground. I enjoyed directing Michael Caine, and it was just a wonderful experience all around.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Seagal. I wanted to know which of your films do you like most and which do you like least?
I mean, I've made so many bad ones I don't really know, but I made a bunch of good ones too, so it's hard to single out. I would say my two favorite are Fire Down Below and maybe Above the Law.
Do you consider it an honor and amazement that parents like myself that watched your movies in my 20s now show them to my children? That you are living on because of parents like me introducing our children?
I do consider it an honor and thank you.
Okay, let's see those hands if you have a question.
I mean, well, that was a two-part question, is that it?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, definitely.
So the first part was, are there favorite martial arts scenes? Probably my favorite so far is the scene in the herbal shop in Attrition. That's maybe my favorite, martial arts scene. And the next question was?
Yeah, well, so was there anyone in particular that you thought, okay, if I would face this person in real life, that would be like an honest martial arts fight that we could have? Like anyone that would pose a real threat to your skills?
I think, in this movie, Attrition, Fan Sui Wan is probably the best out there. Maybe him and Donnie Yen is very good. I'm not saying that I think, I would be afraid to fight him. I'm just saying that those guys are real fighters.
Imagine that being like a new challenge and inspiring to do those kinds of films with people like that. Yeah.
Anybody who tells you they're not afraid to kick in a door with bad guys with guns in there, wanted for murder, wanted for armed robbery, wanted for human trafficking, wanted for narco trafficking. Anyone who tells you they're not afraid, at least once in a while, is a liar.
That's a very honest answer. Thank you. Okay, let's see. We have a question on the far right corner.
Hi, you worked with Kane Hodder on some of his early films, well, not early films. How was it working with him and seeing how that career grows?
Working with who? Sorry,
Kane Hodder.
Sorry?
You worked with Kane Hodder on Under Siege 1 and 2.
What film?
Under Siege 1 and 2. He was a stuntman, and obviously you worked with him and how big a actor he is now in the horror industry.
You said Kane?
Kane Hodder, yeah.
I'm so embarrassed, I just can't remember. I've worked with thousands and thousands of stuntmen. I'm very embarrassed to say I can't remember him, sorry. You just have to really try hard to look at life fresh and new every day.
I have a serious question. I was involved in MMA and you as well. And as a trainer of Lyoto Machida and Silva, you was also the trainer of them, and they was very proud of you. How you see your future in involvement in MMA and training the guys, like about 3-4 years ago?
Without going into too much detail, I'm hoping to not be intimately involved with any of that anymore. Secretly, there are special fighters that have amazing talent that I will still teach in secret, but I'm going to try to limit my involvement to any kind of public connection to any of that completely if I can, or almost completely. I'm a diplomat now, I'm a full diplomat. I want to start doing more and more diplomatic work to help relations between country and country and make the world a better place through the martial arts and through real, honest, good, fair diplomacy.
That's where